The absorbent mind. What's that? This is one of the main things to be understood by any teacher, any psychologist, any parents, any grandmother and any grandfather, as any auntie and any brother and sister, older siblings. We have to understand the concept of the absorbent mind. Absorbent mind is a description of the mind of a small child. It's especially small children, they have only an absorbent mind. That means they cannot choose what to learn. What do I mean? If you put a sponge, a dry sponge, into red water, the sponge doesn't have the choice to say, I don't want to absorb red water, I want to absorb only transparent water. A sponge being put into red water will absorb red water, and a sponge being put into transparent regular water will absorb transparent regular water. And the sponge doesn't have a choice in that. And our children don't have a choice in what they absorb. They're not thinking it over. That means you put the child in an environment like you put a sponge into a bowl of water. And the child absorbs everything and anything in this environment without thinking about it. The child is not reflecting what I want to absorb. The child is not making any choices. The child is absorbing everything. And as the child comes into this world and has to learn everything, the child considers everything he or she is confronted with to be normal. Absolutely normal. That means a child who is experiencing quarreling, fights, be it his parents, his grandparents, or his siblings, that child will learn to fight and to quarrel and to talk back. Because this is what the child's mind has absorbed. And the child's mind did not absorb problem-solving skills. The child's mind, in this case, didn't absorb friendliness. If a child is being put into an environment which is friendly, beautiful, clean, neat, the child will absorb a natural love for beauty and cleanliness and will try always, all his life, to have cleanliness and beauty in his own environment, wherever he will find himself. The child didn't choose to be clean and neat. The child absorbed the cleanliness and the neatness from the environment he absorbed. If a child is being put in an environment of learning, full of books and intelligent discussions, where maybe he saw his parents studying, maybe he saw his parents teaching, that child will end up a learner, a scholar, and maybe a teacher. The child will find learning normal. The child will find learning a joy, a pleasure, and the child will find it easy to learn. The child didn't choose to. But this is what he absorbed, and this is how he is. You put a child in an environment where he sees violence. Maybe you put him in an environment where the television is always on, where his parents are using the mobile phone all the time. The child will grow up having the television on all the time, using the mobile phone on all the time. This is what he has absorbed. And let's say the mobile phone gets destroyed or lost. The child couldn't live without a mobile phone for even 1 hour because he doesn't find it normal to be without his mobile phone for an hour or to be without a television on for even an hour. He didn't learn it. Learning for small children means absorbing. We have to be very careful into which environment we put the children. We as teachers and as parents, if we understand the concept of the absorbent mind, we have to do everything possible from the beginning, that means from the birth of the child, to put the child into a positive, joyful, pleasant environment. Let the child hear only good words and good music. Let the child experience beauty and cleanliness. Let the child experience calm and education. What the child didn't learn when he was small, he will not learn when he's old. The Bible says, teach up a child the way he should go, and he will not depart from it when he's old. That is in Proverbs 22, verse 6. And we have found today that the brain is being wired in those early years. And it's very hard to change when you're older. So, Maria Montessori, who called the space, the room around the child, the third educator or the third teacher. Let's be very careful on what we put into the environment of the child and which environments we allow our children to move in. Let's be careful in designing the environment of the children with beauty, lots of nature, with peace, with friendliness, and with joy. Absorbent mind is the children take in everything they are surrounded with and they make it part of themselves. Just a small sentence at the end. We older people have choices. We can choose not to like something even though we are surrounded with it. We might choose not to eat something even though it's on the table in front of us. We have an absorbent mind and we have developed willpower. But even older children, youth, and grown-ups, we are being shaped by what we behold, by what we see, and by what we are surrounded with. This is why there's a proverb which says, tell me who your friends are and they will tell you who you are. Because our environment says a lot about ourselves. And we should not forget that even though we choose not to, our environment always has an influence on us. So we should also be careful because we have not dropped the absorbent mind. It has just become less influential. Young people still have more absorbent mind than we as grown-up people have. So we should be careful with what we surround our young people. They can choose. But the more they are surrounded by things, the more they will find them normal. So we should also be careful concerning that. For this age group, we should teach the children or the young people to make choices concerning which environment they want to be surrounded with.